Okay, almost viral. Little different today. I have a cameraman, editor, and also a musician in his own right. But we
Correct.
have Cultivision. Is it Cultivision or Cult Classic? What do you want to go by?
So, Cultivision is the company,
Is the company.
and then Cult Classic is like me.
Is you. Okay.
Right.
Real name, government name. That out loud.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
All right, we'll bleep it. We can bleep it out.
Yeah, I go by Cult Classic.
Okay, we got Cult Classic in the building. Video editor, director, editor extraordinaire from New Jersey. I found you through Recess Radio, who I just interviewed recently. The interview will have already dropped by this time. Really nice to have you here. What do you think of the Barstool office?
Very interesting. I'm excited for the full tour.
The full tour, yeah.
But from what I've seen, it's very cool and seems like a cool place to be.
Yeah, I usually start with that, but usually when I do these, it's a little more. We're still after hours, but it's a little bit more when there's less people in the building. So we have like a big 360 green screen room. We have all this shit, a bunch of different set rooms, and someone like you who's into productions, into cameras and stuff, you'd probably value that. So
sick.
We'll definitely
I'm excited.
Loop back around.
Hell yeah.
But I was excited to talk to you, excited to chop it up with you because I also, work with video editing, all that shit. And it's just something that I feel like people who are not involved with it directly or don't do it day to day don't really understand what goes into it, what goes into making a treatment for a video, what goes into the actual edit. So it's cool to find someone who has some common ground. So I want to start with, when did you start basically getting into video?
I got into video. I've just always been in video. Starting with the parents' camcorder type shit. I have 3 older brothers, so we were always just making like stupid movies.
Thinking you were like Jackass or something?
Yeah, literally like stuff like that, or like just like acting. Like they would make the movies. It wasn't even me holding the camera. And I was the youngest brother. Like, all right, like stand in front of the camera, monkey, and dance or whatever. And it was like that kind of thing. Like, but I feel like that probably like ingrained something in my like subconscious brain to like, I don't know, just gravitate towards camera shit. And then throughout elementary school, it was just like school projects. Like, all right, everyone's making PowerPoints. Like, I'm gonna ask the teacher, can I make a video? Can I, just because I thought it was cool, flip video cameras. That was the shit. Making like stupid short films with my friends. And then like, I like skated growing up. So we'd make like skate.
Yeah, I was just about to ask,
skate videos were like huge. And then my older brothers also like all make music. So like I've just always been around. I've always been in bands, and I'm like 6 years old going to their like concerts and stuff like that. Like I've just like always like been around music. So then around college, the two kind of met, and so I was making music videos. But I actually went to school for nursing originally. I went to college for nursing.
Where'd you go to school?
Ramapo College.
Okay.
And
Jersey?
I only even went there because
Jersey through and through?
Yeah. I only went there because they had a great nursing program. And then I get there, sitting in a chemistry class, and I'm just like, what am I doing?
Yeah, fuck that.
But
that's kind of like, so you weren't taught professionally necessarily how to edit. You didn't take a intro to video class in college or anything like that.
So I did, but like I kind of got lucky because Ramapo had like a pretty, I wouldn't say they had like a great program, but they had like pretty good resources for someone like exactly where I was at. But I like learning. I love school when it's like something that I give a shit about.
Yeah.
And like, so taking those film classes, like I was going ham on every single project. Like I'm taking what I learned in the classroom and like actually then I'm like flying to California to like go like apply that to do like a recess video, for example.
Yes.
So I was like actually getting like it was like the curriculum writers. It was like I was like their wet dream in the sense that like this kid's actually like
talented, interested in it, all that.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I was talented, but like interested and like applying it. So it was like, damn, like, I don't know. I feel like I got the most out of my college experience.
Do you have any particular early videos in mind that you thought, like not necessarily music videos, but ones that you did for school that you thought were like bangers? Then you look back, you're like, oh my God, why did I do that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's like
everything.
Yeah, it's just like a thing. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty critical of myself. To a healthy degree, I would say. Like, I think that's like a thing a lot of artists and creative types like will find is like, I'll be hyped on a video coming out that I made, and then like 3 weeks go by and it's like, oh, that shit's ass. And it's like, I'm kind of over it after like a certain amount of time. People will say the same with music, and it's like, Yeah.
It's kind of like when I was discussing this in not to keep going back to it, the recess interview. We were talking about like demoitis. So when you listen to a demo
Yeah.
too much before it's mixed or something like that, and you
Yep.
hate it. Like sometimes I feel like the same shit can happen. Like I have unreleased music videos I haven't put out yet, and like they're fire. But I'm like looking at them and I'm like, fuck, like what's it called? Like Monday morning quarterbacking it. Like we should have shot here. We should have shot here. So I get that for sure. What were you first like editing on when you were first doing it? Was it Premiere?
I was
like,
on Final Cut on my MacBook Air. And then funny story with the MacBook Air, actually, so I didn't have a camera at this time, like when I was in college. Basically, like like the abbreviated story. I'll just kind of piggyback on what I already explained with like the whole nursing student transition to film student kind of thing.
Yep.
I didn't have a camera, and I hadn't taken enough courses in the film department for me to be allowed to like rent a camera.
That's whack. You have to have a certain. You couldn't just be like, I have an idea.
It's whatever, but it didn't stop me. So I went to like, it's called a Cage. I went to the Cage to rent a camera. The person didn't know who I was, just like another student. I was like, yeah, I'm in this class. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, give me a camera. I would just take the camera, shoot shit on campus. I literally would take the camera. Hopefully no one from the school sees this. They probably won't, but I would literally come to the city and like go to concerts and like with the school's camera that I wasn't supposed to have and just like shoot like like rap concerts and like stuff like that. And just like make it happen because I wanted to. And then I would come and I'd edit on my MacBook Air, or I would like, there was also computer labs with like really great like iMac computers.
Yeah.
And I didn't have access to that. So I would just like wait till a student left or just keep knocking until someone opened it and just go in there, and I would be there all day. Like ask any of my friends that were in college. I mean, he knows, but I would just live in like the computer lab for like weeks. Sorry, I forgot what your original question was. I kind of went.
I was asking what you edited on, but you already
cool.
answered it, and your response was way more interesting. So I'm going to build off of that.
Cool.
So you were doing basically like concert recap footage, I guess.
Yeah.
Did any of the things you shot ever get to an artist and they posted on their page? Like, what then springboarded you into working with artists directly?
It's a good question. If we can go back really quick,
Let's rewind this bitch. Let's do it.
There's one more detail I wanted to add to
Okay.
the MacBook Air. So I was editing on Final Cut Pro on a MacBook Air. I didn't own my own camera. Around the summertime, like at the end of my freshman year, I was like, I'm going to buy a camera. I don't have enough money. Worked at a liquor store at home to save up. Still didn't have enough money. All right, I'm going to sell my laptop in exchange for a camera, and then I'm just going to drive an hour to my school to edit. I sell the laptop on eBay. Get scammed.
Oh no!
I was an idiot looking back. Like it was so obvious.
Would you sell to someone in like Bangladesh or something?
It was, I don't know where it went, but there was no. It was like they did it like outside of eBay, and I was like, "Yo, like they're trying to give me like it was something stupid. I was selling it for like $700, and they're like, "We'll give you $1,000 if you send it today." And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Oh.
I was like, "Of course that's a scam."
Why would they give you more?
Yeah. So then my oldest brother, shout out Ryan, he just like sauced me the money basically.
So you sent the laptop and then no money.
Just sent it out to a stranger and for no reason. And he basically like gave me the extra money. And then I shot him a music video because he makes music.
Cool.
So that was really cool. But yeah, that's kind of the whole MacBook Air thing.
So was your brother the first person you shot a music video for?
Yeah, technically, yes. And actually it was even before that. It was like when I was still in high school or maybe even middle school. I shot him a video for like his earlier stuff. He's just been making music like his whole life. Like, so like at different stages of him as an artist, I've made him music videos, and like they were always just casual and just like fun and really like simple, just because it's like, it's my, like it's, it's just kind of a casual thing. Just,
not a lot of pressure.
Yeah, like he's not paying me and I'm not like, it's my brother. We're just kind of like fucking around.
What kind of music does he make?
He makes, that's a good question. I don't really know how to define it. Definitely in the indie sphere, indie pop, but like he's made all types of music.
What's his artist name?
Marcy.
All right, I have to check him out. So when you started making his videos, is it just like run and gun, or you were making treatments? Like, how did your vision for music videos evolve?
Yeah, I started in like the run and gun world for sure. I started in like the rap, like in like rap video world, and that was like pretty run and gun, and that's kind of like what a lot of people I was working with wanted. So it wasn't necessarily like that's what I wanted to do. It's just like what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I was down because like I was just down for any opportunity to do the thing I wanted to do, which was to just like creating. I didn't have like a specific thing I liked to do at that point. I just like to like make videos in any to any degree, whether it's editing or just shooting. So they were all pretty run and gun, and just slap like a bunch of cool effects and stuff like that. That was like definitely how I started off, but I have since broken up with that style
For
of
sure.
filmmaking.
I want to maybe jump forward in the timeline a little bit, because the first video I saw of you, or that you had a hand in, is how I found the Recess Radio guys as well, was the Pretty Perfect live video, which I
Mhm.
thought was super dope. And it seemed
Yeah.
very like DIY, but it was a cool concept. It kind of reminded me of, and I forgot the name of the fucking movie that I thought it referenced in their interview, but there's like a movie with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst, and they get sucked into a portal and go to, I think it's called Pleasantville maybe, and everything's shot in like black and white, and they're riding bikes and stuff. I thought maybe it was influenced by that. Now I get to ask you, was it influenced by this Tobey Maguire movie?
Nah.
No, but it was a cool concept, and
Yeah.
it seemed like you had a vision for that video, and then moving forward, like the Deep Purple one, crazy. And obviously, I want to get deep into that. But when did you switch your style over into being more, thematic, I guess?
That's a really good question. I switched to being more. Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't know. I think because I started in the short film world, like I have a bunch of short films I made.
Oh, cool.
In high school and in college, and that's what I loved about working in film and video and being a director and all that. And so, but I also love music and I love finding new music. So it's like I kind of like it's like the perfect mesh of like, okay, I can make like conceptual music videos. So it's like kind of like a little short film, and it's not like there's dialogue and all that, but there's still like a story being told and a concept and an idea being like translated basically through the video, rather than like, okay, let's look at this dude with like 3 girls that we paid to be here, a cool car, and like a bunch of fake cash. It's like no one really wants to see that.
I've done a few
I
of
don't
those.
want to see that. We've all done a few of them, and it is what
I've
it
done
is.
them as like the artist, just because like I was my first couple of videos. I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do.
Right.
Never had the fake cash. Definitely paid girls to be around me.
Yeah, but it's like you do what you got to do. It's
Yeah.
like you do what you think you got to do.
Exactly.
And I came to a point where it's like, I'm going to do what I want to do. I like to make stuff. My objective when I make things is to make things that I would want to see.
Yeah.
That I would want to see other people make. Like you see a great movie and it's like, what makes that a great movie? X, Y, and Z. Okay, now take X, Y, and Z, and like that's your basis for a music video I'll make, rather than like what's everyone else doing.
Do you see yourself doing music videos for like the rest of your life, or do you want to do like the short film stuff? Because it seems like from your last answer, like that might have been your first love with film.
Yeah. I have no idea what I want to do, honestly. I don't even know what I want to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what I'm doing after this.
I feel the same way. I like to live my life like that, but sometimes like I
Yeah.
feel like I'm trapped by like the rigid structure of society.
That's real, dude.
Yeah.
Nah, I feel. And that's actually funny because that's what Pretty Perfect Life was about.
Yes, yeah. Like they it's kind of like they don't like know if pursuing music will make them happy, but it'll at least maybe they would be happier if they didn't live this like creative lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's actually like my favorite video I've ever made, because like the whole conceptual and thematic aspect of that video is like directly related to the lyrics. And that song in particular was just like, it came out. I guess I heard it for the first time like at the point in my life where I was like, I'm really going for it. Like I'm not doing all that other shit. I want to do like my own path. And like that's what that song is about. So like when we could shoot a video for it, like that was like the first video I had done with Recess where it was like I was like really directing it. Like I had like a really strong vision for it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I work with them, and it's one of my favorite reasons to work with them is that it's like really collaborative.
Yeah.
But that video in particular, I was like, I know exactly how I want this video to look.
When I know you said they're collaborative. When you work with someone, do you not like when they come to you with an idea? Do you rather like create the treatment from scratch, or I guess you said you prefer to be collaborative, but do you want a sense of 50-50, or would you rather have a little bit more of the reins when things are getting planned out?
I love when people come to me with an idea.
Cool.
But that idea, I kind of make the analogy is like, give me like the seed and I'll give you the flower. Kind of like corny, but like, give me the seed and I'll give you the flower. Meaning like, if you just have like an ounce of an idea, an ounce of a direction you want the video to go in, like that's where I flourish. I think I struggle creatively with like just blank canvas and be like, this is what we do.
Yeah.
But if you give me like, all right, I want it to have a jet ski in it. It's like, boom, give me.
Might be something that, I might have to call your phone up. If you got a jet ski connect, you might have to shoot a jet ski based video for me.
Yeah, literally though. It's like, give me that much. And it's like, give me a couple of days and like, I'll have something.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You were talking about not wanting to be, on someone else's schedule, not doing things you don't want to do. Are you at a point now where your video career is your main, source of income, and you're not as necessarily like working a side hustle?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Not to say there's anything wrong with working a side job, but I mean, it's great to be able to have your creative passion be your full-time gig.
I'm like at a point right now, specifically right now, where I'm like trying to take the risks, and it's like
Paying off.
it's paying off, yeah. But mentally, I feel like I'd rather only do what I want to do and sacrifice. Okay, maybe I could make more money, but I'm not doing exactly what I want to do. I'd rather only do exactly what I want to do, and just completely be that person and immerse myself in that lifestyle.
What was the last non-creative job you worked, like regular day job?
Liquor store and like mowing lawns.
Which was better?
They're both pretty sweet, honestly. I can't complain. Like, they were great jobs.
Liquor store, you probably got some free booze out the back every once in a while.
Yeah, I was also like 18. I was like 17 when I started working there.
Is that allowed?
Like, no, but
No, yeah,
it was just like cash and like it was like whatever.
When did you make the jump? Do you remember the specific moment when you're like, all right, this is my last time clocking in?
Yeah. Yeah, my boss was like bipolar, to like legitimately bipolar. So it was like either like really dope to be there or like hostile work environment.
Yeah.
And so it just felt great to be like, by the way, like I'm quit. Actually, funny enough, I never even really quit. So like I was going to school while working there. So it was like seasonal, like summer, winter break. I worked there. And then I just like never contacted him again. And he just never contacted me again.
Mutual parting of ways.
Yeah. And I've just never gone back. Like even since turning like 21, like, cause I worked there before I was 21. And then since turning 21, I was like, I'm just never going to go back there.
What did your parents think when you were like, I'm just going to pursue this full time? Did they have full belief in you, or were they kind of a little wishy-washy on it?
They were pretty wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Which I also think is like good because they were good parents. They were being good parents about it. It wasn't like, no, like don't follow your dreams, do some boring shit. It was more like, I don't know if that's realistic. They just didn't understand what I wanted to do. And I did, but I couldn't communicate that in a way with like verbally. I kind of had to show them. And so like it got to a point where I'm flying to LA every other month. And they're like, oh, okay.
When did that start? About what year?
The first time I went to LA was probably 2020. No, it's probably 2019.
And it was for work? Like you were going out to shoot some stuff?
For work. The first time I was ever flown out was to Florida for work. And it was like, my parents were like, are you sure? Like, you're going to get kidnapped? Like, who is this guy that's flying you out? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't know. Let's see. Let's find out. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like the dude picked me up from the airport and like literally getting into his car. I was like, well, this could be it. Like,
yeah.
But I was like, I don't care. Like, I'm fucking going for it.
And if someone's showing the initiative to pay for your flight out there, I mean, I think that means like they shouldn't rob you. Like that's just a $300 investment into, I guess, robbing you. Maybe they would then, because they're going to get it back. Yeah, for them.
Could be worth it.
But
small price to pay.
Yeah, I guess so. Was there a specific video that you did that springboarded this? Your ability to be able to not have to work anymore?
That's a good question.
Or was it more of like you hadn't even hit the point where it was financially completely viable and you were just like, I have faith in myself to do this?
It was definitely more that.
Yeah.
More that I had faith in myself, and I didn't really. Yeah, like it was never really about the money. It was like, it was more about like opportunity, experience, connections over money every single time. What
are your, I guess, video or any directors that inspire you, or do you like Cole Bennett? I personally like really fuck with this guy .com Nirvan now. He's
I've heard about him. I don't know if I
doing a lot of stuff with Babytron recently.
Sick. Yeah, Babytron's popping up. Cole Bennett was definitely like a huge inspiration when I first like started, because like I was like a filmmaker first before I was a music video director.
Yeah,
and so like once he kind of started popping up, I think he made it cool to be a music video director.
For sure.
And he made it a thing to be a music video director. The same way like you could be a producer. Like before then it wasn't like as accessible.
I can't name one music video director. I'm sure there are. I guess maybe Spike Jonze, who did like not Spike Jonze, Spike Lee, obviously, but I think Spike Jonze is the Jackass guy. But like, but outside of Spike Lee, I can't really think of any like cool directors and music video directors. I think he put it on the map for sure.
Yeah, definitely. He made it like a thing. It's like, oh, you can actually be that.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, he was like a huge inspiration. Creatively, I can't lie. Like in the very beginning, I was doing like Cole Bennett tutorial effect
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But like I said,
Photoshop cutout, transition to the next frame. Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. And you know, that's not my style now, but I know hella people that do that and they kill it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say he was an inspiration creatively, but like culturally and just as like a person, the way he carries himself, huge inspiration. I actually met him one time and I was like on one of his sets as like an extra. It was in Brooklyn.
How'd that happen?
They put a casting call on their Instagram story, and it was right before they were like really big. It was for the JID and J. Cole video.
Okay.
And
I mean, if you're doing JID and J. Cole,
yeah, I guess that's pretty big. I think it was a big. It was like one of like his like
Yeah,
first like
yeah.
big. I don't know. But it was raining outside. It was like an indoor shoot, but the thing with the extras was supposed to be outside, and it started raining. And like the production manager or whatever was like, "Oh, like we're gonna cancel the thing with the extras, but you guys are welcome to stay if you want." And me being who I was like, "Of course, I'm gonna stay the entire time." And they had like catering and stuff. They took a break, and like I'm just grabbing like some, I don't know, like penne vodka or something, and I look up and like Cole Bennett and JD are just chilling right there, and I was like, "Oh shit, like what's good?" And he was like, "Oh, what's good, bro?" And we just started talking. Like he was just the most normal, casual person ever, and I was like, "Oh." I get it.
Yeah.
Like it all clicked because it all clicked there, just meeting him and having him just be like normal. Because like I had looked up to him to a point where I was like, wow, like he's doing what I want to do. And then like actually it's kind of like meeting your heroes kind of thing.
And it's good when you meet. It happens a lot here where we meet celebrities or athletes, and sometimes I think it's good to idolize people. Other times it's not great because when you do meet them and they are assholes, like it's not always this spiritual moment or anything. You kind of just like fuck.
Right.
These people are dicks. But when you do meet someone who's like human and normal, it makes you think like one, things are more achievable, and two, like gives you a little hope for humanity at least.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
sure.
I'm getting too deep on you.
No, I completely agree, honestly. And it was just like, oh wow, like he's just like a really cool person. And just like he was like genuine, that's what it was. And I was like, okay, noted.
When did you link up with the Recess guys first, and how did that relationship kind of all come into play?
I had a friend at college who went to high school with them, went to middle school, like just grew up with them. Like he was hometown best friends with them. And he was just like, yo, like look at this group that I know. And I was like, what? They're
different.
fire. I was like, these guys are fire. And and then I kind of had him like be like, yo, like tell him I want to do a music video. And they were like, I don't know. And I came to one of their shows and like kind of just was like, yo, can I just shoot the show? And they were like, yeah. Did my thing, did a little edit. And I remember talking to them after, or like trying to talk to them after, and like I still wasn't really on their radar. They were kind of like legends in that area, especially at the time. Like it was like they were like going crazy.
And they were like 18-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Probably, yeah. So it was like, holy shit, this is crazy. And I was like trying to, like, yo, I'm trying to, and they were just kind of like, oh, like, whatever. I actually don't remember what ended up switching. Yeah. But I think I was just like really persistent. That was always my strategy in the beginning, just being like insanely like annoyingly persistent. It's gotten me pretty far, but
that's good.
I don't do that anymore. But like, I think that really helps in the beginning when you just,
for sure,
when you really know what you want and you're a little arrogantly confident, like it'll work.
Like blinding confidence is sometimes a good thing. Even if you're like skill set or like you're not all the way there, if you have enough confidence for people to buy into what you think you can do, you're going to end up, I think, potentially doing it. And you've had a string of videos with them that are all crazy. I know I mentioned the Deep Purple one, the Arc of Descent one, which that was you as well, right? That was more recent. What is the one where it's a lot of green screen stuff, but like on like is it like Candyland, a Candyland board?
Oh, Life is Just Today.
That one's really cool too. Yeah. Like and all those three videos that I just mentioned, among others, are all vastly different. Yeah. So it's super cool that you have a style, but your style is also ever changing in each one. What was the most complicated?
Life is Just Today, for sure.
Okay, and why?
There's like years of my life taken off from that video because it's like all the green screen stuff. Yeah, and the
so
way
much keying and shit,
dude. Yeah, I fucked it up pretty badly, so I had to like fix it all in post. And like the way I was pretty proud of myself for how I like kind of came up with this whole idea. But basically, the way we shot it in like the most simple explanation is like it's like this kid's bedroom, right? Yep. And they're all really tiny in the kid's bedroom as if they're like toys or whatever. And we had to basically shoot the empty kid's bedroom, like with all the stuff and the toys in it without anyone being in it because they were going to be shrunk down later. Then we had to shoot the green screen stuff so we could key out the green screen and shrink them down and put them in that environment. But to make it look real, we had to match the angles.
Yeah.
So the way we did it is I downloaded this like sketchy like what they do for like the weather reports where they're like, oh, like they can like see like what they're pointing at even though it's just a green screen. Downloaded that, and then I imported the footage of the empty room onto a laptop so you could basically connect the camera to the computer, see it in real time keyed out with like the footage and then them on the green screen and like shrink them, if that makes any sense.
So I thought you had like just multiple, like a huge ass tripod and we're shooting down on. Like, no, that was all in post. Like
no, that was in tripod. That we did do that.
Okay, so that's while you're shooting this.
Yeah, but
okay,
to get
cool.
it to like, because we needed the angle to match. Like, it couldn't just be like, all right, let's get a high up shot. Like, it had to be the exact angle.
Damn.
So we had this like weather like report.
Oh, okay.
program.
I thought that was all a post thing.
Yeah.
Damn, that's wild.
Yeah.
And then what was going on with the King? Like the lighting was fucked up or something?
The lighting was fucked up. It was actually like looking back now, I could have saved myself like probably like 12 hours of work. I just wasn't even using the right like effect. When
I first started editing on a green screen here, because we should have like, all right, you're going to start doing this show on a green screen. Like, now here's a course on how to edit.
Right.
None of that exists. It's just like, all right, figure it out.
Yeah.
So like, everything was like either underexposed or overexposed. And I had to like really figure out how to fuck with shit in post to make it look good. But that's I think that shit sucks when it happens when you're working with video. But like, it also, once you get through like a fucking battle of an edit, you're like, all right, now I know how to do this. And now the next time I try to do something of this nature, it's not going to be as complicated.
Facts. I try to stay away from green screen even though I know how to do it, it's like I'd rather just not do it.
Yeah. I feel like 100%. When you're going out to LA and working with them and collaborating, are you at all like not feeling like you're in like your own home space? Like when you're traveling out to someone, or if it's a work trip, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect your headspace when you go into a shoot. Like, are you more comfortable shooting here?
It's a good question because especially recently, I've been kind of like battling with that.
Yeah.
Because it definitely does affect you, like not having like, like solid ground to have your feet on, traveling so much. It definitely can affect your mental state, but I don't think it ever affects like me creatively. Outside of that, I'm probably losing my mind, but in within the context of the shoot, like I don't think it affects it in either direction.
Does that affect like what your budget's going to be? I imagine it does. And I don't know if like, I'm sure different artists offer you different shit. Like not everyone's going to be able to fly you out, but if you obviously that's going to change, affect the budget, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a case by case basis. Budgets are tricky, and especially the stage. Like I really like working with like independent artists or like newly signed artists, like people that are early risers kind of.
For sure.
And so with that crowd, it's like budgets are kind of all over the place. Like really can depend.
You would rather someone who's like unheard of and super fire and you could get their first video as opposed to someone who's, a little bit more established and they can give you a bigger bag?
I'd say somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle
is the idea.
Yeah, because if it's like you get hit up by Post Malone or something, hey, shoot a video, you're gonna.
Yeah. Like I did a video with 24K Golden.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It hasn't come out yet. Hopefully it will. I don't know. They really like it. It's just, it'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, especially when you're with a big, I think he's with like Columbia, right?
I think so. I'm not.
Or maybe
sure.
Republic, but like something like that. It's just gonna take like they have to have the right TikTok campaign behind it. Everything's got to fall in line. Where it's someone who doesn't
there's
have
more to it. The song has already been out for a while, so that's why it's like it's for More Than Friends.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's like a recent single, but because it's been out, it's like a little harder to just be like, yeah, let's drop the video because he's already doing new shit. But he was really cool to work with, and that was like the biggest artist I've worked with. But he was
Where was that? Out in LA?
That was in LA.
Do you ever feel the need to go out there and be there full time?
Yeah, I do. I'm kind of working on that.
Really?
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. No, I'm figuring it out. I don't know if it's really the move right now. And I'm just kind of weighing all my options, and like I don't need to, but I think that again, like immersing myself in it and just kind of like jumping off the high diving board and just seeing what happens is always a good idea.
Who decide? I would assume it's probably you, but when a video is going to go on your channel or on the artist channel, or do they ever ask you to just put on your channel?
It's also a very
tricky question.
Very tricky question. Good timing also.
Yeah.
I'm working at a lot of that stuff right now. That is, if I ever get to see Cole Bennett again, that's my number one question, man. How the hell do you convince people? Well, like now he's built a platform, right? Lyric Lemonade is huge.
It's basically MTV. Better than the new MTV.
Literally, which is fire. But I don't have like the analytics to be like, it makes sense on my channel. Always. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. That is also a case by case basis, and I basically just try to sell people on the vision and like not sell them, but you know what I mean, like explain to them and like have them be a part of it with me, so it doesn't feel like give me that, like it's going on my channel. It's never like that. It's because I like working with people more than once, and I'm never trying to like pull a fast one on someone to like, oh, it's on my channel now. It's always like I want it to be mutually beneficial, and if they're not fully convinced why it should be on my channel, that like, all right, then
Let them have it. Yeah.
it's whatever. But I like to try to convince. I don't want to use that word convince or sell, but I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just try to like explain what I'm trying to build.
Yeah, because if you could have like the perfect scenario, I would imagine you would want everything you touch to be on your own channel.
Ideally, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just not really realistic.
So I've been like glancing through your channel in preparation for this, and I've seen you've done some like live sessions, kind of.
Yeah.
You've done like a different, I guess array of content. What is like your future plan for it outside of music videos? What would you like to do on the Cultivision channel?
It's Cultivision.
Cultivision.
It's all good.
I'm sorry. I looked up the name a few times, and is it Cultivision intentionally, or was it Cultivision because Cultivision was already taken on YouTube?
It's Cultivision intentionally. It's like cultivation.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that. I'm an idiot.
No, I mean it's all good. Bro, it's literally 50-50 shot. They say Cultivision or Cultivision.
Because the Instagram handle for it though is Cultivision though.
It's Cultivision.
Is that I in the Instagram handle?
Yeah.
Damn. Man.
People, bro, you're chilling. It's literally like, I don't know how, but everyone just like, oh, Cultivision. It's like, no, there's an I in there.
Damn, I thought when I I noticed it on YouTube yesterday, and I was like, I thought maybe you put the I there just because like you couldn't get the actual Cultivision handle. Cultivision with an I, motherfuckers, remember it, because now I didn't. Damn, I apologize for that.
Nah, you're good, bro. Don't worry.
What a dickhead. What other types of content would you like to put out in the future on that channel outside of music videos?
Yeah, so music videos obviously are like the main thing.
Yep.
More live sessions.
Cool.
Concert videos, because we're throwing more concerts.
Yeah.
Like little recaps of those, and then like mini artist documentaries.
Fire.
And then and I have a couple of those in the works. There's one up now. There's a couple more on the way. Just like
Trevor Spitta is
Trevor Spitta is the only one that's up now.
Cool. I've been seeing him on TikTok. He's fire.
Yeah, he's dope. He's from Jersey too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, the name of it is like something about Jersey, so I should. Yeah.
Yeah. Just fucking like little side content. Like, I don't know. It's like stuff that I don't want to force. Like just like natural moments. Like this is a legendary clip. Like this has to live somewhere, and like I want it to live on Cultivision.
Get into the throwing shows thing. How does that work? What is the your I guess involvement in that? You presented and through the recent Recess Radio one in Jersey. I think the one last year you did as well.
Yep. How
do you go about booking the venue? What is your role in all of that?
So for the first one, it was a little bit like Recess did more of like the physical like signing and like booking.
Okay.
And then I kind of like visually curated the show and like I got like the openers together. Basically just like kind of build the show, take the show from like, hey, we're playing a show to like, this is an event. Like this is more than just like a Recess concert. Like this is like a whole thing. So, and then covering like hiring people to shoot video and photo and just kind of like curating it into more of like an experience and curating the vibe. These visuals would be here and there's TV on the stage, yada, yada, yada. The second one, I was a little bit more hands-on. But the physical booking, I mean, we've only thrown 2 and they've been at the same venue. So the second time around, it was way easier. We already know the guys and it's just kind of like that.
What's more stressful, getting all that shit done or planning for a music video?
Definitely the show.
I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
And there's just so many like moving parts. Kids are gonna be fucked up. You got to make sure the people who are performing aren't too fucked up. Like you got to make sure everything's. We've done live podcasts, but it's nothing like a fucking live show. Like I performed at shows, but I've never had to be the one facilitating, like making sure everything runs smoothly.
Yeah, because it's kind of like an investment, and it's like not guaranteed you're gonna get your return.
Yeah, not at all. Unless you throw a fire show.
Right, and sometimes it's not even that.
Yeah,
because like so, for example, we threw it on a Sunday, and it's like Sunday early. What is it, May? Sunday in May, it's like, it's kind of like people don't really want to pop out on a Sunday in May. Sunday in August, like last time, like, fuck it, end of the summer, let's go. I don't care. Yeah, especially with like an older crowd. Like once people get real jobs, like a Sunday, Friday, Saturday. Lesson learned though. I mean, Friday and Saturday is when I'm throwing shows.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you live and you learn.
Yeah,
This recent show, you performed, correct?
that is correct.
And that's a good segue into the artist part of the interview and the artist part of you. So, was that your first time ever performing?
It's my second time performing. First time was in LA with at the Everything Is Punk show. Shout out my homie Jonah Roy.
Shout out Jonah.
He brought me out. It was a song that he produced for me. Super dope guy. But yeah, we make a lot of music together, and he was actually like one of the artists performing on the set list, and is a really cool show. And he brought me out as a special guest, and we just performed that song.
Were you nervous at all?
Yeah, dude, I was super nervous. And then like probably like a minute before it was actually time to go on, I was just like, all right, let's get it.
Yeah, that's how it usually happens.
Yeah.
You get the butterflies, and then like once there's like a little period where you're like, oh, I shouldn't even do this. Like, it'll be better if I just don't perform. I'll tell everybody I'm sick. And then like a minute beforehand, you're about to go on. You're like, nah, fuck it. I was born to do this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And then as soon as you hear the crowd, like you're good to go.
Yeah. But that was my second time performing at the Recess show.
How long have you been making music?
Probably about 5 months.
And what made you decide to start doing? Is it something you always wanted to do, or you kind of just on a whim started recording?
Not something I always wanted to do. I played drums. I've always played drums.
Okay, so your musical background.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I've always been around music. But in terms of singing, like I was never a singer, and like, I'm still not really a singer, but I just do it anyway. I think
auto-tune's you use a little auto-tune. Auto-tune's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think what made me want to make music in that degree was like being around so many people that like became such genuine good friends of mine that made music, producers, singers, engineers, all that. And just kind of like, I think it was like, honestly, it was the environment that they created and witnessing so many, because you shoot a video with someone, it's like, oh, what are you doing later? Let's just chill. Or I'll be in LA and I shoot a video, and then they go to a session and they're like, you want to come? And I'll just come and I hang out, and I just kind of observe, big observing guy.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of observe the environment that they're doing. It just seems like very lax, very like open creativity. It's just like fun. And at the same time, I'm like, okay, these people are really good at producing and mixing. It's like, I could probably throw down some bullshit and they could probably make it sound pretty good. And that's exactly what happened.
So the Voodoo song with you and Blake, was that's your first song and only song out right now, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's the only one out. Was
that the first song you recorded, or you recorded a few and like, this is the one we're going to go with?
I recorded a few. That one we made in Blake's bedroom, and just kind of on a whim, I was like, you want to make some music? And we just he started making a beat, and he was like, we need a guitar. Martin calls Martin. Martin walks in, he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Just throws down some guitar thing. He's like, all right, cool. Made the whole song. Probably made it in like 30, 45 minutes.
Dope.
And we were just hyped on it. It was like, we have to drop it.
So you're like doing a little half singing, half rapping thing. Was that, I know you said it wasn't the first song you recorded, but was that the style you're going with initially, or were you trying to just rap to start?
I'm not a rapper. I don't want to rap.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like then
you're
pigeonhole
good.
you, but like, you know, it's kind of like the melodic like singing type shit.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
You knew that's what the style you wanted the whole time?
Yeah, I definitely want to go more like an indie route, and like heavily distorted, kind of like less like in your face, and kind of more like a little like dreamy and like spacey,
dope
kind of thing.
How many songs do you have recorded right now?
Probably like 12. And
is it something you're actively doing? Like you have time, you're trying to sit down and write or record every week, or it's kind of just like when you're in the mood to record, you record?
Both, kind of, because I'm like always in the mood to record.
Yeah, I feel that
right now, at least, because it's like new, Yeah, it's like new and it's fun and exciting, and like I don't have any expectations or limitations on myself because it's new and I don't know what I'm doing, so it's just all fun and all that. So right now I'm just trying to like find the sound, because even though I just try to describe it with words, like I still don't really know what that means.
So we're not gonna hear you on a drill beat at any point in time.
I mean, I'm not.
You said you're not a rapper.
Well, maybe I wouldn't rap on it.
Just sing on the drill beat.
Yeah, I'll sing on the drill beat.
Okay.
We'll create a new genre.
There we go. Melodic drill.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool that you're doing both, because I think if they don't admit it, a lot of people who are behind the scenes in the music industry, from directors to producers, probably want to get in front of the camera or in front of the microphone and just try it. And it takes a lot of balls to do it. It takes a lot of balls to put yourself out there. And it's sick that you got to put out your first song and, obviously direct the video as well. That's a huge thing too. I don't think many artists really get to have full creative control over what their first visual looks like. What was the experience in that? Were you more nervous, like having to be in front of the camera as opposed to behind it?
For sure. I don't like being in front of the camera much. But again, it goes back to like the environment that like my friends create, intentionally or not, like them just being good people. It makes me feel comfortable to just be like, I could just be an idiot and like it would be cool.
Who was manning the camera when you were in front of it?
The homie Colin Douglas, who
there's a lot of a bunch of videos I've been looking at. Look at the credits, and there's a lot of Collins.
Yeah, so we're gonna do one day. We're gonna do a recess video where there's a 30-person crew and everyone Collins. Is gonna be named Colin on the crew.
I like that. I like that.
But yeah, he was manning the camera on that.
Cool. I think one of the other videos you shot that went pretty crazy numbers wise. Araya.
Yeah, Araya.
Araya. Yeah. Was Colin the other Colin on that one too? He did like the VFX for it.
No, that was
maybe I'm giving him stolen valor. Sorry, whoever did the VFX, but that just as a sidebar. That's a super dope video.
Thank you, bro.
He's a super cool artist as well. I had never like heard of him before, and then I dove into his catalog a little bit.
Yeah,
he's got a great voice. But getting back to your music stuff, how many more drops are we gonna see from you in 2022, if any?
2022, definitely some drops. I'm working out the kinks right now with like just kind of like bringing the song from demo to like fully finished song.
Don't listen to it too many times.
Yeah, it's too late.
Yeah, I do the same shit. It's the worst. A project maybe or just singles?
I think I want to do like, yeah, honestly, man, it's hard. I don't even know because like being like from the outside perspective, like having so many friends and people I work with that drop music, it's like I see the different strategies that people do, and it's like I have somewhat of an advantage, but at the same time, it's like I could tell someone like if you make music, like you do make music, if you're like, hey man, I have like these songs, what should I do? I can make a plan for you, but then it comes to like me, and it's like now it's me, and it's like oh shit, like kind of question it more. So I have no idea.
What would be your stock marketing plan for visuals for a typical like? Or a new artist coming at you who just wants to get a little bit of buzz? Are you going to tell them one each month, single and video, or are you going to tell them, project with one good video?
Definitely single with the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the wave right now.
It is the wave right now. And, can't fight the current. Just kind of ride the wave.
Yeah, I know. Do you at all feel like you have to change what you're doing for social media? Obviously not for YouTube, but like, are you getting into TikTok and all, and like changing what you're doing or re-editing things different ways to put it on TikTok?
Yeah, for sure.
Or repurposing footage?
For sure, yeah. Repurposing, recycling. It's honestly awesome because like for like my video stuff, at least I have all these videos I made over the years, and like I can just make a little edit with. That's what I've been doing a lot, and they are pretty popular. Like,
yeah, I gotta follow you on TikTok. I don't know if I do.
Yeah, I just post like, I don't do like how tos or anything. Just like cool little edits, throw a cool sound on, and it's like, wow, like this is a cool video. Where can I see more? And it's like kind of just using it to my advantage, and I think everyone should use it to their advantage.
I was talking to Blake a little bit about TikTok, and we were both sharing frustration a little bit too. Because for a while I was doing like the fucking like 5-second video with a bunch of text just to volume shoot and get the songs. I'm like previewing a little bit more traction in the algorithm, and it's such a stupid thing. But the worst part is for one of my recent singles, it was working, and it was like I would do it for one song and didn't do anything, and then this new song that I was previewing, it was getting like whatever 10,000 views, 13,000 views. I'm like, oh, why? This is so dumb. Why is this working? And now like I kept doing it. I just was like, is this what the music industry is? Is this what I'm supposed to do? Just like write this long text about how like I need to switch over from Bud Heavy to Bud Light that has nothing to do with the song, but it's just making people read the text and the video loops more. Is this like what it's all about? And,
is this what it's come to?
Yeah, and it kills me sometimes. But what you're doing sounds like it's a lot more artistic.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I tried.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, fuck you, dude.
Well, what's funny is that now because I make music, I have another TikTok for my music, and it's like fuck, like starting from the bottom, and it's like,
yeah.
Because like I had like a decent amount of success on my video page, and so I told all my friends that made music, I got on everyone's ass like, you got to get on TikTok. You got to get on TikTok. It's so easy, bro. Look at me. And now I'm doing it. I was like, fuck, this is so hard.
Yeah,
the music at least.
Well, I think TikTok is obviously it's a visual platform, but when you, visually, like the shit you edit is visually super appealing. So that's a lot easier to I think I have people gravitate towards than like, hey, listen to my new song.
Right.
But you'll figure out a way, I'm sure, to
Right.
mesh the two, just because you have the tools and the skill. If you could see yourself, I know you said before you don't look deeply into the future, but would you like to have a career where you're a successful musician and also a successful videographer? Or do you think one and the other can't be completely achieved at the same time?
I think they can definitely be done at the same time, and that's the plan. I kind of I want like the name Cult Classic to be just like this, like well-rounded, just looked at as like an artist rather than like, oh, that's the camera guy, or like, oh, that's the guy that makes that song.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be like a full, like, in the same way. I'm not gonna go crazy and be like, I want to be Kanye, but like in the same way that like you look at Kanye, this is like far, far in the future. I've got a lot of work to do, but just like in the sense you hear Kanye, you look at
Title.
Kanye.
Cult Classic says he's the next Kanye West.
The thumbnail.
Yeah.
No, but in the sense like him and like Tyler too. Like you look at those people and they're not just, there's like, I found that the most successful people you can't pinpoint to like a title.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Sometimes I think that's a great mentality to have. Sometimes I feel like I'm overexposed with shit. Like, and I bet you probably might get to start feeling like that soon with making music and videos. It's like, am I doing too much? My hands in too many pots? And then I think of someone like Kanye. I'm like, well, he did it all. Like, you should want to do it all. So I appreciate that sentiment and like trying to have success in every avenue that you, I guess, are pursuing.
I also think it makes whatever you're making, if you have your hands in 5 different pots, like the output of that is going to be something that people haven't seen before or haven't heard before.
Do you ever do more traditional videography for a check? Like, will you do like a mom and pop's, I don't know, like commercial for a flower store or something, or that's something that you don't want to touch?
I have in the past for sure. I made like kind of like a pact with myself for like this year at least, since graduating college, like 2022, I'm only doing the things that like I want to do for money.
Yeah.
Just to see what happens. And I can always return to those things.
Cool.
But it's not something I want to be known for. And like I wouldn't post that on Instagram and like showcase that. But yeah, for sure. You got to make ends meet sometimes.
What is the best bag in the non-music video game?
Damn. Probably weddings. I don't do weddings, but like from what I've heard, that's like the easiest and like quickest.
I feel like a lot of wedding photographers aren't really photographers. They're just guys who bought a camera and know the groom.
Maybe. It's kind of like a formula. It's like, it's just like, all right, we need X amount of this shot, Y amount of shots of the groom, blah, 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 blah. All right, the edit, choose one of these 5 songs, put the pieces in the pot. Yeah.
Make sure you get somebody crying when the bride walks out.
Gotta have someone crying.
Is there ever going to be a point when you're like 60 and you just want to do more, I guess, relaxed stuff that isn't involved, like going back to the wedding photography maybe?
Probably not that, but like I definitely don't want to make music. I don't want to be 60 and making music videos still.
Yeah.
I want to, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to do something that's like timeless.
Yeah.
So like even like on a smaller scale, when I make a music video, I try to make a music video that someone could watch when they're 60 or when I'm 60. And it's still like I don't want to follow the trend of like, you know, those cool effects or whatever. It's like, that's cool right now, but give it 3 years. And even now it's starting to become less cool in my opinion. Yeah. I want to make stuff that's like timeless. And so when I eventually do move beyond the music video space, I want to work on like bigger and more meaningful projects.
I think you would kill it, and I'm mainly saying this based off the Deep Purple video. I would kill it in like a sketch-based like comedy short.
Bro, that's like my biggest thing I want.
That would be fire.
Yeah.
I think like not like SNL, something cooler than SNL. Like you ever see Shane Gillis's shorts? You know who he is?
I do not know who he is.
Look up Gillian Keeves and look at their shorts. This comedian Shane Gillis who was hired by SNL, and then a bunch of old tweets resurfaced, and he was fired like a day later.
Damn. And
he since then like took all the skits he was gonna, I guess, pitch to SNL and did them himself on his own YouTube channel. Super funny, super creative. And like seeing you do the Deep Purple video, I feel like you could totally body something like that.
Yeah, bro. I get ideas like randomly, and I have this little app I write idea. It's literally just like sketch idea.
Yeah.
I want to do a show. I don't want to reveal too much because I find if I say something I want to do, I'm less likely to do it.
So you're not a big manifestation guy?
No, I am. That's why I don't like to say things out loud. Because if it's like, if I tell you like, hey, I'm gonna do this, it's like what, and you're like, that's so cool. I already get the gratification of like having done it because like you validated me doing it, even though I didn't do it. But I want to make a show that's like I don't know, episodes 15, 20 minutes long, right? But it's just like a bunch of like unrelated little moments in time. And I have so many ideas for just like, yeah, I can't, I don't want to say too much, but
sounds
it's
like
coming
good,
by within a year. I'm definitely making something like that.
Let's get into the Deep Purple video a little bit because I've been talking about it a bunch. And it had like a viral moment. Views are crazy. I think it has like 175,000 views.
Yeah.
And when I talked to the Recess guys, they told me that they had some of the idea. They came to you with it. It was a collaborative thing.
Yeah.
What was that process like, I guess, beginning to end? How did it all come about? And what was the idea that they gave you? Was it like, we just want to run around as purple aliens?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really remember. That whole video is kind of a fever dream in like the best way possible.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
I don't remember what they came to me with. I think we originally were gonna. Oh, right. It was the initial inspiration was the Beastie Boys video for Intergalactic.
They mentioned that, yep.
Where they were kind of, I think they were in Tokyo in the video, and they're like in a big robot and just like riding around and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like some Power Rangers like villain.
Yeah,
type shit.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like Power Rangers. Shout out Power Rangers. But we didn't want to bite it, but we wanted to like, you know, really use it as like an inspiration because it's a cool video. It's kind of similar, you know, like a band, like a group of rapper band kind of thing. And we were gonna have them be like chrome, like aliens, and we knew we wanted to do like a UFO instead of a robot. But I don't know if you know like who Chip Chrome is.
No.
It's like the singer of I think it's the 1975. I always get these bands mixed up. 1975 or The Neighborhood. It's the singer of one of those bands.
You thought he was gonna have beef with you if you went chrome?
I mean, we just didn't want to bite it and like just do the same thing because he does like a solo thing where he's like all chrome. It's really cool, but song's called Deep Purple, kind of an obvious choice. They'll be purple.
Yeah.
And so me and Martin went on Amazon and just basically like made these little like individually picked out pieces for the costume. Got like purple body paint, and then
were they stuffing?
Nah, bro, that was all real.
Oh, you guys are all bought in on this. This is all real.
I think no one wants to believe it.
Oh, I don't know.
Everyone's jealous.
There's one shot that it looks like you have like a full on like a tube sock stuffed with like I don't know, like a deodorant stick or something in there.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
That was something that they were adamant on. I was like, you guys stuffing? They're like, nope, real.
Nah,
and even
that was one thing that I think my biggest contribution to that video was that I was
specifically the zoom in the subway,
just the package, and I was adamant.
Yeah,
I was like
you guys got to be torqued.
It's already funny enough.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's already funny enough that it's like, all right, aliens in Manhattan, aliens taking over New York City. But like, what if they're just fucking packing?
Yeah, packing.
Because like, if you see that, right, it's like, okay, another day in New York. This is also kind of crazy. Hella people were filming us and like, just having their little moment, like send it to their friends. But how much funnier is it if they just have giant packages?
The footage in the city is crazy. How long were you guys? How many hours did you film for dressed like that?
It was like an all day thing. We got there pretty early, maybe like 10 to probably like 10 to 6, probably like a full day's of work.
And then I imagine the actual spaceship scene was a little bit more calm and a little more controlled.
Yeah, I think we did that the night before.
And then what did you put on the walls? Like, was that just all like fucking tinfoil or something?
Yeah, it's tinfoil from like Costco. It's got like an industrial or like kitchen pack or whatever.
And are they helping with the set design, or it was all you?
That was a team effort.
Cool.
For sure. My homie Sam and my homie Carlo came through. They're both dope video dudes as well. Yeah, we just kind of like, I had like a bunch of old TVs and we just like looked up on YouTube like spaceship visualizer or something, put them on the TVs and got a bunch of weird like lights and stuff like that. And
did you intentionally spell fuel wrong on the fuel thing?
No, but then we just rolled.
No way, really?
It was not intentional.
I thought it was intentional.
Yeah, I wrote it down and I was like, fuck.
Fuel.
Yeah, fuel.
And then you guys had like a viral moment with it because like a bunch of Instagram pages picked up on it. And that's like the like quintessential thing that you want in 2022, you know?
Literally.
And it obviously helped with the video. When you like saw that the virality picking up on Instagram, where you're like, yes, the master plan is working.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the master plan. I mean, yeah, I was hyped for sure. It's like always more eyes, the better. I try to not. as like the creator of videos, I don't judge the success on like the amount of views.
Yeah.
It's like honestly, how do I feel about it? How does the artist feel about it?
Yeah.
As long as like we both feel dope about it, then it's a success. But on top of that, it's the cherry on top when it does successful by the numbers.
So there's obviously like a sliding scale with it because that had a viral moment, so the views are going to be inflated in a good way. But do you ever have moments where you're like, damn, this video that had a little viral pop, I'm not as in love with to this other one, and I'm not going to compare two videos. This other one that I put a lot of effort in that I think potentially might be shot more visually pleasing.
For sure.
Is that a tough thing to have to deal with sometimes?
Yeah, it is, but it is a tough thing. I find that in terms of like views and like the numbers, the more like abstract and artistic stuff that I like to make is not usually the most viewed video. Sometimes the most viewed video is a video I really like, but sometimes it's not. It's like the same with TikTok, bro. It's like the stuff that pops up that pops off on TikTok is not always like the best, highest quality piece of
usually
content.
Pretty stupid. The stuff that
usually
goes on
pretty
TikTok.
stupid, yeah. And it's kind of sometimes just like thoughtless, and sometimes it's just luck. So I try not to get caught up in the numbers just at all. And if I like the video, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think detaching yourself from the results a lot of times is very important in creative things, just because like if you're building something from scratch, views aren't going to be where you want them to be at the end. And also it's just like not a good mental state to have yourself in, like comparing yourself always to other people or other numbers is not good. And I think it's important that you have that perspective where you're like, if I like the art, then I like the art, doesn't matter.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Dude, I was trying to remember that as I was saying this, and I was like, I went like "kuh," and I was like, I can't butcher this line. So thank you for saving that.
There's a million ways to say it, but yeah. It's really true.
Yeah, 100%. It's a deadly thing right now. Just makes your day ruined when you think you have something fire, and like,
yep,
you check back on your Spotify stats, like, oh, why didn't I get 10,000 streams? I don't know.
Yeah, I actually like recently unfollowed a bunch of people that I really look up to artistically, just for the fact of like, or for two reasons. Like one, it makes me feel shitty because they're so good at what they do, and it's like, what the hell am I doing, right?
And then sometimes I do the same thing. Sometimes I get to a point where I'm like, then you're in a weird catch-22 where it's like maybe you wake up and you're inspired to do something, and then you look at Instagram and you're like, fuck, I'm not this guy. So then you get in a bad negative feedback loop and you don't even end up doing anything. You don't even end up creating anything, which is like the worst thing possible.
Yeah, kills your productivity or creativity. The other end of it is like I think like I kind of mentioned this in the beginning of the interview, but when I make a video, when I'm making a music video, making the treatment for a music video, I try not to look at other music videos, because what ends up happening is that I make a music video that's already been made.
Yeah.
So I try to take inspiration from things that are not music videos to then make into a music video.
Yeah.
And then it becomes an original music video. Versus like, all right, what does their music video look like? Let's do something like that. Well, it's like, well, now it kind of makes both of those things like less cool.
I feel that. And I feel like it's also just not a good habit to, like we were saying before, just keep comparing. It's not a good route to go on.
Yeah.
Couple questions I have about specific moments in certain videos.
Sure.
One in particular, this shot from Jesse and James inside the post truck.
Yeah, dude.
How'd you pull that off? It looks like you're in like a USPS warehouse.
We kind of were. It was like, I think it was near like USC campus.
Okay.
We were just walking around. I don't even know what we were doing. We were definitely looking for a place to film, but I don't know if it was that. And they have like USC like security guards basically just like walking around like every block.
Because the campus is not in a good area, right?
No, I don't think so. Especially whatever side we were on. And we're just like, all right, let's just do it. Like we just kind of like walked up, and there was like an entire lot, like massive mega lot of just all the mail trucks.
Yeah, and it's open.
And it was.
Or did you open it?
We opened it, and
turn the lights on.
Definitely a felony. But
yeah, it's definitely a crime. You can't be doing that. But that's awesome. That's like the cool DIY shit that I love. And I'm sure if you booked a shooting space, you would not be having like the worries that you would maybe get rolled up by the cops, but also like
it's more fun.
You gotta love that, getting that little pit in your stomach, like we could get in trouble. Is there anything in particular, you mentioned the green screen stuff before. Is there anything particular that you've ever really fucked up on a shoot that you wish you could have back? Or what's your worst fuck up on a shoot?
My worst fuck up on a shoot was when I was in high school and like my town paid me to shoot like a town board meeting.
Oh my God.
And I filmed the entire thing in slow motion. No. And on the camera that I had, if you film in slow motion, there's no audio. There's like variable frame rate or something like that.
Fuck.
So I sped the entire thing up to be normal, and there was just no audio. And I just submitted it anyway, and they just never said anything and paid me.
That's fucking awesome. One time I was actually a video shoot here. I wasn't as serious as it sounds, but like we were filming Canelo and his like sparring, and we were like, obviously everything was lit up properly. We had like 2 cameras set up, but we were doing on handhelds. Like I was on Canelo, someone else was on the host, and the lighting was great and perfect. But obviously with like the studio lighting we had, like you had to like drop the ISO on the camera or whatever. And then we went to like a different section of the gym, and like obviously there's no lighting there, and I just didn't check the viewfinder, and it was just dark, and it was like half the video was just essentially black. And we have wizards here that could fix it in post, but I was like, damn, they flew me out to San Diego. I'm staying in this nice hotel, and I just fucked up this video shoot. I'm never gonna be invited sent back out here. But that's always, we talked about it before, but that's always like such a terrible feeling in your stomach. But you know, you learn something, and you gotta, you know, you once you do fuck up something once, especially with video, like it's pretty much guaranteed you'll never fuck it up again. If you fuck it up,
it's very true,
to a bad degree.
Experience is like the best teacher.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially negative experience.
What do you look for now as you like progress? Are you always trying to buy new cameras, or like what do you shoot on?
It depends on the video.
So you have multiple cameras.
It's my most asked TikTok comment question.
Really?
What camera did you shoot this on?
Yeah.
It's the most annoying thing in the world. Because that sounds wrong. It sounds harsh. It's the most annoying question from TikTok people, because my philosophy is like, you just shoot with whatever you have.
Oh, you're a Cole Bennett iPhone guy.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far personally, but like if all you have is an iPhone, like that, like there's no more excuses is basically the whole thing, which is why I think it's so cool that it shoots on iPhone, because it levels the playing field for like everybody.
I want to stay woke. I think all the Cole Bennett iPhone videos are fire. I want to stay woke on it though, because for a while I didn't. Maybe he realized it, but so the first Yeet video he did on iPhone, like the color correction looks a little weird, like a little washed out. And for a while, I had in Premiere, when you would bring the new like iPhone 13, like super high def footage in, like you had, I think initially they didn't have the right like color profile or whatever to interpret the footage. So everything was all like fucked up. That makes sense. So you have to like color correct the shit out of it. Now there's like a setting you can change in it. But one of his videos, because I did an iPhone vlog that someone shot here, and I was like, why the fuck is this all overexposed and all? There's no color, and it took me like an hour, 2 hours to just get this like fucking 5-minute iPhone vlog figured out. So I think he might have had the same problem. So Cole Bennett, me and you, we're not so unalike. Just kidding.
But yeah, to answer your initial question, I
just completely went on a tangent in the middle of my own question to you. I'm sorry about that.
That's good. Yeah, it's good iPhone cinematography lesson. I have a Sony A7S II, which I started on, and that's like, love that camera. It's not the perfect camera, but there's no such thing.
Yeah.
And then I upgraded like about a year and a half ago to the Blackmagic Pocket 6K.
Sick.
Really, really dope camera. I also love like old VHS cameras. Anything in between. I love vintage cameras. I love vintage cameras.
What's the process of getting, like, I've had a music video shot by someone else, and you had the VHS cam. How labor intensive is it to get the VHS footage onto your computer? Like,
that's really easy. It's just like time. Like, there's multiple ways to do it, but I have like a little device that you basically plug it in, and then it records it onto an SD card.
Oh, okay.
Pretty simple. You just got to let it play and then record.
Duly noted. All right. I mean, I think we covered an array of topics. We're over an hour in. Beautiful. Is there anything in particular that you want to tease, let people know about? What's down the pipeline right now for both Cult Classic and Cultivision?
Let's see. Honestly, I'm just, for Cultivision, I'm like really in the pocket that I've always wanted to be in terms of the music I'm working with. Meaning like I feel deeply confident in the artist I'm working with, and it's just like the perfect symbiotic relationship where it's like mutually beneficial, career wise for both of us. Excuse me, for both of us career wise, but creatively and just like vibe wise, man. Like the videos that I got coming out with the music, like the pairing of the two, like the last 2 videos I dropped and the next 5 videos like I have a bunch in the vault. I'm just like super hyped about, and I really feel like I'm like Cultivision is about to be a part of this wave of artists like Jonah Roy. I was mentioning it, like all these dudes in LA, Tommy Richmond.
Yeah, I saw Tommy Richmond in the Frank Sativa video you shot, which was
Yeah,
dope.
which is why it's legendary.
Yeah, it's fire. Do you have anything coming with Tommy?
Yeah, there's a video for that song Bunker Pre-Roll. Him and
Yeah, yeah.
My Name Isn't J Mac, both very
I
dope
fuck with his
dudes.
music. His music heavy. I DM'd Tommy Richmond. He answered me a couple months ago. But if you're in New York, Tommy Richmond, I want to interview you. His whole sound is fire. It's like super like DIY like punk shit. That's like, but
Yeah.
also has a new wave spin. Fire.
He's fire. He was at the show that the first time I performed.
Cool.
The Everything is Punk. That's like his thing. Yeah, just a lot of really, really cool artists that I'm working with in terms of video. And then for music,
Yeah. What about your own music?
my own music, I got a bunch of videos that I have in the vault for that. And just, I don't know, just a lot of really cool collabs because it's like I'm in this interesting space where I can make a video with someone, and then after that we can go to the studio and
Make a song.
make a song with that person.
That's
It's
dope.
like pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
And I just feel like really good about like what I'm creating right now.
You gotta, next time you're out in LA, you gotta leverage that into like a big feature or something like that. You could get like, I don't know, maybe next time
Maybe.
you're around 24K Gold and be like, hey, get on my song, buddy.
That's actually funny. I made a TikTok about it was like a behind the scenes clip of like that shoot, and it's like clearly see 24K Gold and see like the nice camera set of the DP, and then I'm just like standing there giving him some direction, and I wrote like, no one on this music video set knows I also make music, and like my song is playing. Got like 2 likes.
I bet if you
One comment though was like, "Is that 24K Gold?"
if you re-downloaded it and posted it again, I bet it would go up. That's weird with TikTok. Sometimes like if you just like
Yeah, it's
something
true.
doesn't hit, you just repost it and it'll
Very
fucking
true.
it'll go up. But I'm very excited to see what the next couple months brings for you. I'm very excited to hear more of your music, see more videos. Thank you
Thanks,
so
dude.
much for coming by,
Yeah.
and let everyone know the correct handles since I butchered them in the beginning.
Sure. At Cultivision, CULTIVISION. There's a lot of I's in there.
Yeah.
Cultivision. And then that's my company. And then my name is Cult Classic at cultclassic.mp4, like the video file.
Fire. Thank
That's
you,
it.
bro.
Thank
Appreciate
you, man.
you.
This was dope.
Subscribe.